Discover today a place where you can rent a wife. That's right, you didn't hear wrong. Here you can rent a wife with just a few bucks. Let's explore the charming city of Pattaya, located in fascinating Thailand. This country seduces any visitor with its paradisiacal beaches, stunningly beautiful islands, and lush tropical jungle teeming with wildlife. Pattaya, with its vibrant and welcoming atmosphere, stands out as a little explored treasure. The city is a perfect balance between tranquility and adventure, combining peaceful natural retreats with the buzz of dynamic and affordable urban life. Here you can indulge in luxury spas, savor local cuisine at high-end restaurants, and explore bustling night markets, all without emptying your wallet. The cost of living in Pattaya is a pleasant surprise. It allows visitors to enjoy luxurious accommodations at incredibly affordable prices, where in many places around the world, the same amount would barely cover a night in a basic lodging. The cost-effectiveness is simply unbeatable, making Pattaya a must-visit destination for those seeking indulgence and luxury without breaking the bank. This city is an invitation to live unforgettable experiences, combining comfort, culture, and adventure all in one place. Come with us on this amazing journey. Before we move on with the video, I've got a tip for anyone interested in meeting and chatting with women from other countries. I've left a link in the pinned comment for a reliable website that only allows profiles of real people. Click on the link in the pinned comment to start meeting new people. Thailand, a country that impressively blends ancient traditions with the hustle and bustle of modern cities, offers visitors and residents a rather peculiar cultural practice that may initially cause surprise: wife rental. This practice, although it may sound strange and even controversial to outsiders, is an integrated and accepted facet of Thai society. It's important to note that wife rental in Thailand doesn't refer to a form of traditional marriage. Instead, it's a social and economic agreement between two parties, involving mutual support and financial benefits. These arrangements are often temporary and structured to meet the needs of both parties, without the legal and personal implications of marriage in the conventional sense. This phenomenon reflects the complex social and economic dynamics of the country and challenges the understanding that many may have about relationships and marital agreements. By exploring this practice, one can gain a deeper insight not only into Thai culture, but also into the various forms of human relationships that exist around the world. In Thailand, the practice of renting wives is a specific cultural tradition that often doesn't involve romantic elements. Many times, men turn to this practice to have company at social events like family parties, weddings, and funerals, or simply to avoid the stigma of being single in certain social circles. It's important to understand that this practice isn't just a cultural quirk, but has deep implications on how some Thai communities perceive status and social image. The relationship between this activity and the interest of foreigners in the region also deserves attention, as it intertwines with the local economy in complex ways. When exploring this custom, it's essential to recognize and respect its cultural roots and its impact on the communities where it's common. As we delve into the costs and logistics of renting wives in Thailand, it's crucial to recognize that this practice is part of a rich and complex culture. For international visitors, it might be an unusual and even a bit confusing experience, but for many locals, it's an essential element of social interactions within their communities. Interestingly, the custom isn't confined to just a domestic phenomenon. In recent years, a niche market has developed specifically catering to foreigners. Often it's overseas tourists seeking the company of a Thai woman during their visit to the country. This adaptation of the traditional custom for the tourism market raises questions. How exactly is this service organized, and what are its implications? While not officially sanctioned by the Thai government, renting wives to foreigners is a reality, especially in tourist destinations like Pattaya and Phuket. In these places, tourists seeking companionship meet the availability of services catering to this demand, forming a peculiar market. Typically, these services are coordinated in settings like clubs and bars, where intermediaries, often called agents, help connect local women willing to play the role of a temporary wife for visitors. These arrangements are quite flexible and adapt to the tourist's length of stay and their expectations from the companionship, whether it's for social events, exploring tourist attractions, or for a deeper cultural experience. However, the practice is not without complications. Renting wives brings significant safety concerns for both the women involved and the tourists hiring these services. These concerns are not just secondary, but fundamental and require careful attention from all parties involved. When it comes to the financial aspect, the price to rent a wife in Thailand isn't set in stone and varies based on several factors. Things like the length of the contract, the location within the country, and the woman's characteristics, including her appearance, educational background, and previous experience, all play a big role in the total cost. For instance, a one-day contract might fetch a very different price compared to one lasting a week or more. Prices also vary significantly from one region to another, with generally higher costs in well-known tourist spots like Pattaya or Phuket. The individual qualities of the women also play a significant role in the prices charged. Those seen as more beautiful or who have higher education or experience with foreigners tend to command higher rates. To get a broader understanding of the costs involved in renting wives in Thailand, it's important to note that prices vary significantly. They start at a few hundred bahts per day and can soar to several thousands, depending on factors like the length of the contract and specific services included. For instance, longer contracts or those involving more complex arrangements tend to be pricier. To put these values into an international perspective, we consider the current exchange rate, where 40 Thai bahts roughly equal €1. This helps put the costs into perspective for those unfamiliar with the Thai currency. Before we move on with the video, I've got a tip for anyone interested in meeting and chatting with women from other countries. I've left a link in the pinned comment for a reliable website that only allows profiles of real people. Click on the link in the pinned comment to start meeting new people. The variation in prices and offered conditions illustrates the complexity of the wife rental market in Thailand. This phenomenon not only reflects the rich cultural tapestry of the country, but also underscores how divergent economic expectations influence this unique practice. Though controversial and variable, the practice serves as a clear example of how cultural and economic factors intertwine in complex ways within specific social contexts. In Thailand, there's this quirky service where you can rent a wife for around $700 a month. In this setup, the hired woman takes on the typical role and duties of a wife in daily life, accompanying the client in routine activities like grocery shopping, cooking, and even showing affection, going as far as saying, "I love you." Essentially, she fills the role of a companion in a traditional relationship. However, this phenomenon sparks a lot of reflections on the role of women in Thai society and the impact of tourism on local traditions and behaviors. Many Thais are concerned about the legal and moral implications of this practice, which is at the center of a heated debate about preserving cultural traditions versus the need to adapt to new ethical and modern paradigms. The debate at hand is incredibly relevant, as it illustrates the conflict between maintaining cultural traditions and the pressing need for social progress in a constantly changing global landscape. As societies evolve, their traditions and customs may require adjustments, especially when faced with ethical issues and a growing recognition of human rights and gender equality. As we delve into this intriguing topic, it's vital that we pause to consider our own views and the impact we can have in fostering a global environment where every individual is recognized and respected. The example of wife rental in Thailand not only highlights a specific practice, but also sheds light on our global reactions and biases towards it. As we wrap up our discussion on this matter, we're prompted to delve deeper into the relationship between cultural traditions and social advancement. How can we reconcile respect for local traditions with the encouragement of practices that ensure dignity and respect for all? I invite you, the viewer, to ponder these points and share your ideas in the comments. What's your take on this balance between maintaining traditions and ethical progress? Thank you so much for joining me on this journey of discovery and debate. It's through our dialogue and exchange of ideas that we can collectively explore various perspectives and perhaps reach a broader understanding of these complex issues. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up with all our videos. We regularly release new content that delves into various aspects of the world around us, always aiming to inform, educate, and inspire. Join us on this adventure of cultural exploration and discoveries. Stay tuned for our next video. Until then, keep curious and engaged in the discussions.